Welcome to Anime Out of Context, a comedy review show where a man completely immersed in anime culture torments his co-host, who is only allowed to watch the shows featured here. If you'd like to support the show, you can do so at patreon.com/animeoutofcontext. Alongside over 100 hours of exclusive bonus material, all episodes uploaded to Patreon are completely ad-free, even to non-patrons. Thank you for listening, and enjoy.
Hello and welcome to Anime Out of Context, the show where I attempt to explain the sometimes weird, sometimes wonderful, but always hilarious world of anime.
And all of my monologues are brooding in a black and white corner of an office with some rain pattering on the windows.
Hopefully they're well written, Rem.
Unfortunately not, Shaun. Unfortunately not.
I'm Shaun Rollins.
I'm Remington Chase.
And Remington, have I got some great news for you?
All right, let's hear it.
All right, Rem, so you know how Pride Month is officially over now?
Yeah. Oh, so does that mean we're celebrating July?
What, as in like the 4th of July in America?
Well, no, there's other stuff.
There is other stuff.
It's National Hemp Month.
Is it? Oh shit, I'm gonna have to find 4 hemp-themed anime.
It's also National Peach Month, World Watercolor Month, or National Independent Retailer Month. So, there's a lot to choose from here.
Well, I suppose the closest of that list would be maybe independent retailer in a weird way, but not at all close.
All right, see, we have an in.
Yeah, we have an in. But no, Rem, Pride Month is over, and I've noticed a lot, like in the media, that when Pride Month ends, corporations especially will flip things on their head and immediately be like, all right, now that gay stuff is over, let's get back to the things that really matter. Making money. And that's...
all right, so is that what we're doing? Are we going to pull a little corporate 180? Be like, gotcha, bitches.
Yeah, you know what? We've talked about enough gay stuff for a month. Let's talk about... No, I'm not finishing that joke. That joke will get us canceled. No, thank you, sir.
Come check out our first ever live show in Saudi Arabia.
Oh, God. Christ almighty. No, Rem. My point is that I don't like that. I don't like it when corporations just do that. Because, rainbow capitalism is bullshit. And, just because Pride Month is over doesn't mean that you should immediately all right, well, we don't need to worry about this fucking thing for another year and disregard it entirely. No, I'm strongly of the opinion that, guess what, gang?
That we should start disregarding it a little earlier with child soldiers.
Please.
Wait, are we not on the same page?
Please, I'm trying to make
I thought I was alley-ooping you. I thought I was helping. I thought we were presenting a unified front.
Don't say unified front. No. Oh my Christ. No, Rem, what I'm trying to say is we can talk about LGBTQ plus anime whenever the fuck we want. It's just that during Pride Month we get to extra focus on it and celebrate it. And to prove that, Rem, I've got a very all-inclusive type of anime to talk about today. Because, one, I wanted to make that statement, and two, your boy fucked up a little bit forgetting that there are 5 Saturdays in a month. So, using a very easy anime to research in a week to give me time to find something else was very good for me.
Okay.
So this week, Rem, we're going to be discussing a very new, and I mean very new, as in finished airing at the time of this recording 2 days ago.
Oh, wow, okay.
Anime that heavily features LGBTQ plus themes, including a little bit of Yuri, a little bit of gender stuff, just a little bit of everything, as well as coming of age, self-identification, and growing close to the people around you, and art as a whole, music, all that jazz. It's coming of age from multiple aspects smashed into one lovely little 12-episode anime.
Okay, so what is it?
Well, it's the Girls on Panzer movie, Rem, and...
I'll fucking end you.
No, I wouldn't do that to you. Well, I wouldn't do that to you right now.
Yeah, you gotta save it a little bit.
I can't, look, that'd be blowing the load a little too early. No, Remington. The anime we're going to be talking about today is Yoru no kurage wa oyogenai, which I'm sure you can very easily translate that one.
Oh, of course. But for all of the simpletons in the audience.
The simpletons who do not understand my poorly pronounced Japanese.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
unlike me, of course.
Yeah. That directly translates to Jellyfish Can't Swim in the Night.
Okay, all right.
It's a very artsy, flowy title, wouldn't you say?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Rem, this is an interesting one because basically everybody that I've talked to about this and read about this show say it gives strong vibes of a place further than the universe.
That's promising. That's pretty promising.
And a lot of people have come out and saying that this anime is great, and when they originally got into it, they weren't expecting the strong Pride Month-centric themes type of thing, but were pleasantly surprised by a lot of the aspects of them. And like, there's some possible statements of gender and a little bit of Yuri here and there as well. So it's got the cute girls doing cute things, but with a little bit of that queer spice to it, which is great.
Queer Spice is my favorite of the Spice Girls.
Like, really, they do it the best, quite frankly. They're what kept them going.
Yeah, so that's what I think they added, they added that secret sauce. That secret sassy sauce.
The sassiest of sauces.
They add right after you chungle something down.
People are going to be so confused. That's okay. But Rem, this show is about our group of 4 main girls. First and foremost, front and center, we're introduced to Mahiro Kozuki, who is a incredible artist from a very young age. And when she was a young age, she actually drew a fantastic, lovely mural. But unfortunately, as we have learned throughout time and history, kids fucking suck, man.
Yeah. Fuck them kids.
Kids are awful. Like, even if something is wonderful and fantastic, kids will be like, oh, look at this artist girl making art. How lame type of situation. And, kids are also easily traumatized. So after putting her heart and soul into this lovely little jellyfish mural, a bunch of her classmates basically ridiculed her, and she has been resisting the urge to do art because, the biggest response to the thing that she was most proud about was nothing but scorn and derision from her peers. So, of course, that's not great.
Oh, fuck. A scorned artist. Oh, no. Oh, shit. This is a Girls Who Panzer remake.
No, shit. We can't keep going to the Nazi well. There's limited humor there. Also, these are sweet young beings. Do not compare them to Hitler, please. Christ, Ren. I just want 1 week where we don't compare young anime girls to Hitler.
Just one.
Wait until I show you the anime where there is basically a lolly Hitler. All right?
Oh, what the hell?
Look, it's portrayed like that on purpose at the very least. So don't worry about it. Folks who know. But no, Rem, a few years later, she hasn't done much art, but she comes across somebody admiring her mural who, at this point, has, fallen in disrepair for the years. People have tagged it, people have done some nasty business to it, and runs into a young Kano Yamanouchi, who was essentially a former idol. Which is a bit weird for the age range, but, it happens more than you think. And because of this interaction with Kano, her inspiration to make art again is rekindled. And it's the story of her, Kano, and 2 other girls getting together and essentially putting together music with art. And, it's not just a straight-up band anime, as much as it is, a collaborative, creative anime.
Okay.
Just with a center around helping make music.
It has potential, though of course it depends on execution. I will likely be charmed by it just from the premise, as long as it's even half decent. But will it give me a little something more, unlike last week?
God, you really are upset by how little the Girls in Tanks gave you.
There was so little to talk about.
We managed to talk quite a bit, though. which is good for us because we like to yap.
Look, last week it was an all banter episode, all right?
And hey, for the people who like us, that's going to be great for them. And the people who don't like us, well, they don't listen to us anyway, so, it's fine. I don't think there's much overlap between the people who adored Girl und Panzer and like us as people. There's probably some, right? But I don't think the Venn diagram is super, circular,
Yeah.
But hey, for those that do, we still love you, even if Remington doesn't like girls and tanks.
But yeah. I'm optimistic of this one. It seems like it has a lot of potential. Hopefully, it lives up to it and kicks some ass.
Yeah. And hey, Rem, it even features somebody who's a VTuber. So, there you go. I should say a character who's a VTuber. That's part of their creative outlet, which is, just a sign of the modern anime times.
Okay.
Oh, Rem. The amount of things that confuse you about weeby culture is just, it never gets old for me. But with that in mind, without further ado, let's go straight into it. Let's go watch some Jellyfish Can't Swim in the Night. And we are back after watching 5 whole episodes of the spring 2024 anime, Jellyfish Can't Swim in the Night. And Remington, did it live up to any kinds of expectations you had? Or is this a bunch of colorful, cute girls doing cute things and not a whole lot more? Do you have any profound opinions, sir?
Well, I guess the question is, do I ever have profound opinions?
I don't know. We've been very political lately, Rem, so I don't know if, I don't know if...
Shaun is referencing a recent review, coming right at the end of Pride Month, which doesn't make it look great for them.
No.
That we've become just super political. Which I don't know, man. I think we've always been pretty clear.
Yeah, no. We're not actively campaigning anything here. We're just hey, this is who we are and what we believe in.
Yeah, it's but back to the show. Let's jump into it. I think the first thing people will immediately notice, as with many anime of this kind, very pretty, nice and aesthetically pleasing. I do have a question, John. Is this coming out now, or is this older?
Well, I said spring 2024 at the beginning of this part.
Okay.
Yeah, no, it literally just finished airing on the 23rd of June.
I thought so. That'll affect some of my thoughts later, but I just wanted to cover that before saying opinions that were out of pocket.
Oh, okay. Interesting. Curious. All right. Can't wait to see where this goes.
Who knows? So we meet our main girls in episode 1. You have Yoru and Kano. And so Yoru, she's a pretty ordinary girl, but she is an insanely talented artist. When she was even younger, she made this insane mural. Everybody in this story is just a prodigy, as it turns out. Which I don't know if that's the best way for this genre that it's going, where it's very relatable, right? Because it's hey, look, we're all just passionate about something and trying hard, but also it's super easy for us because we are all better than most professionals, and so, and it's oh, okay. It's less the plucky underdogs doing it, right? And it ends up feeling just a little bit like those people who are hey, with a small loan of $100,000 from my parents, and it's wait. What about the rest of us, though?
Oh, to be fair, I think it makes up for the fact that they have fairly strong personalities.
Oh yeah, well, I'm not denying the personalities at all. In fact, I haven't even touched on that yet. I'm just saying that when it comes to being a relatable, having a relatable piece of media that's look at this journey we're all going through, and it's yeah, I totally understand the more personal side of things, but there is that level of distance here because it's not 1, not 2, not 3, but 4 prodigious children who are insanely talented and then meet with immediate success. Which, most stories like this, they tend to not have all of those ingredients right off the bat. It's hey, we're going to learn. It takes a minute for us to learn. We need the resources to be able to make it happen. Oh, we need to really put in the effort. We have the talent, but we need to grind and get our name out there. This one is like, yeah, we have everything. It's pretty easy for us, and then we did it, and it worked out beyond our wildest expectations. And so that's not that I'm outright saying that makes it bad, but I am saying that is an interesting choice to make, considering what it's going for. So we meet the prodigious at art Yoru and the prodigious idol girl Kano. She's very talented. Occasionally it'll be like, oh, but she struggles to, I don't know, write music, but then it's immediately she finds others to do that for her, so it's fine. And she already has super fans to an extreme degree.
Well, one super fan specifically.
If you have one super fan to that extreme degree, then you have many more. They do not come in isolation. And so it's just very interesting. We learn about like Kano trying to be an idol, but it didn't work out, and now she's an anonymous artist. The two girls, they generally meet because Kano really likes the Jellyfish mural, and then Yoru really likes Kano's music. So bada bing, bada boom. There you go. Kano's like, hey, Yoru, I want you to do art for my music and stuff. And Yoru's initially like, nah, but then very quickly, it's like, yeah, okay. They perform and they're all in. They don't make too much of a deal about it. And broadly speaking, that's episode 1, just establishing those two. And then in the following episodes, we meet our other two main characters. First, we meet the one that has just been amazing at music and composition her entire life, right? And that is Kimura. Kimura, she's just insanely talented in all of those ways. And she's the super fan. She's all in. But she was a super fan of how Kano used to be. And it gets a little it gets very parasocial and weird. And they just kind of yada yada over that. They kind of are like, yeah, that's just how it goes. And I'm like, I don't know. I've seen Perfect Blue.
It's okay, Rev. It's okay. This isn't a Perfect Blue. It's a different genre. We're good. We're safe. We got on the tin that's okay. Look, it's just for quirky comedy. That's all it is.
But it's yet again just another one of those like, oh, weird to introduce elements like, especially to this degree, where if it was like pure slapstick, lighthearted comedy would be fine, but then it occasionally does ask you, not infrequently, to take these things seriously, to give them emotional weight. And so I think there's a certain inconsistency there, where it's like, oh yeah, these things are supposed to be these elements are supposed to be very grounded and real, and you're supposed to get them. These ones, don't worry about them. And I'm like, I don't know, that seems... I feel like we should kind of worry about them. But eventually Kimura agrees to help out with composition. Episode 3 is where we meet, I think there's a better pronunciation, I'm just gonna say Kiwi. If there's a more accurate way of doing it.
If I'm not mistaken, it's a Kiwi. So like not a hard we, it's like a ooey. So Kiwi.
All right, I'm gonna be American as fuck right now. I'm just gonna say Kiwi.
Wow, you're gonna make the New Zealanders upset.
If anything, I'm giving them representation where it doesn't exist.
Because that's what really anime is missing out on. More anime girls from New Zealand. And honestly, I'm kind of here for it.
So, Kiwi is a boisterous personality and also an extremely popular VTuber who can is really good at making videos and animating and remixing and producing music. Once again, all I'm saying is that throwing all of these qualities at all of your protagonists may make them feel just a tiny bit less relatable. Their characters are fun and enjoyable, and the writing for them is usually pretty good, with a couple weird spots, but overall pretty good fun characters, and it's nice to see how they bond together. But inherent in the show isn't just like them being friends, it's like what they're doing together, and trying to succeed in this way. That's a huge emphasis here, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so if it were just a story about the characters and their relationships with each other, which is a very large part of it, 100% you're nailing. On that front, they do, I think, quite well the vast majority of the time. But there is a very, very significant other chunk that I think is handled awkwardly and weird, and that's basically just everything to do with their success. The fact that it does come so easy, and then anytime they feel the need to introduce like an obstacle, they just immediately overcome it without much difficulty. And it's like that, it would be okay if they just decided they didn't need to introduce these obstacles, right? It felt like someone told them they had to, so they did, but they didn't implement them well. It feels vaguely like a lot of Ghibli finales, where I'm like, oh, this is a lovely heartfelt story, I'm loving these characters, and then it's like, and now we need an intense finale, oh, everything, lives are at stake, and you're like, what the fuck what the fuck happened here? They're two disparate parts, and I don't think they cohere as well as they should. We see, once they all unite and they're like, hey, we're gonna team up, right? We're all gonna be a proper group now. And Kano is feeling a little self-conscious because her old idol group is making a comeback and they're being quite successful. But then, the girls are able to get a very significant amount of success right out of the gate, especially helped with Kiwi's VTuber shout out of the video she made, right? And it all works out. Later on, they make another one. They just pull an all-nighter and create the greatest video in the world that you can create in a single night. And we get to see the videos, which is cool because the videos, they use up the end credits. And put the videos and the music videos there instead. And that's great. That's fantastic. I love that. It does further be like, you're telling me they pulled a fucking all-nighter and this came out in a single night? What the hell?
Look, Rem, it's okay to admit that you're jealous of these girls. I understand how hard it is for you to make content sometimes. It's okay to be a little jealous sometimes, my guy.
Oh, 100%. I think anybody would be, would absolutely love to be in any of their position, because holy shit.
Yeah.
It's like, not only am I insanely talented, but I happen to be with 3 other prodigies who all have the exact same goals as I do. It's like, okay. All right.
I'm starting to think that you don't think very highly of me and Dylan. It's starting to feel like you're...
Look, Shaun. You, me, and Dylan, all right? We learned the podcast, it's working out, by God. And with that, there's been a lot of luck, a lot of effort, a lot of mistakes, a lot of not knowing what the fuck we're doing, right? And a lot of time. We don't really see many of them. They'll occasionally be like, oh yeah, there was a little mistake in this video. And like someone mentioned it, but it really doesn't matter much. Oh, there's a couple bad comments and it's interesting to see how that affects them, but sometimes they play it in a meaningful way, other times they don't, and it is kind of awkward. I think it would be, maybe it would be better if they were already this successful group, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you could be like, yeah, they came together, they succeeded, bada bing, bada boom. Because having it as a setting and being able to emphasize those passions, that does make sense to me, and I think it does add to it generally. But trying to tell we started from the bottom, now we here story, where it's like, we started from very high up and immediately soared even higher. It's like, oh, that's just much less compelling. That's much less interesting. And they didn't need to give that degree of emphasis to that side of the story, nor did they need to tell that side of the story in that way, right? There were many other directions they could have taken it. Once again, the actual character side of things, the characters are lovely. They're enjoyable. They're fun. They have good moments. They have a strong relationship. There's like some weird stuff. The fact that Yoru is repeatedly shown to have some friends at school that we only see insofar as she ignores them, which is, that's a little bit strange. She has She has a solid friend group, but the only reason we know that is anytime they're on screen being like, hey, Yoru, let's be a friend group. She's like, actually, I need to ditch you guys.
Look, they don't have protagonist haircuts, therefore they cannot participate.
Then why are they in the show at all? Like, don't get me wrong, I would have complained about it being like a general feeling like a weird bubble if she didn't have friends. But it's an even weirder decision than that to say, yes, she does have friends. Look, here's her friends that she's abandoning. And then to do that, I think 3 times at least already? I'm just so confused. Because it's like, what are you trying to gain from this?
Feels like you're looking into a mirror there, Remington.
I'm just trying to understand a goddamn story. And so, yeah, the character stuff, barring a few very strange moments, it is nice. The little budding romance between Kano and Yoru is adorable, very charming. If it's bait, then that does speak negatively of this show, because it's not the kind of bait where, like, you have to really look, and if you squint, it's there. It's very clear they're like, hey, this is one of the main draws of this little relationship that's blooming, right? So if it's vacuous bait, that's gonna be an active demerit. But yeah, that side of things is really solid. I'm wildly confused about the creative decisions made about the other half of it. I also can't help but feel, and the reason why I wanted to make sure that it was newer, it does feel pretty derivative by now. This is a nice style, right? But me, who is far from experienced, has kind of seen all of this multiple times already, in this very specific way, where it's like, all right, these people come together. Oh, look, this girl, she has colorful highlights in her hair. She's a little bit quirky and breaking out and trying to advance in her art. And look at this gorgeous art style. And these two, they're going to make their way up. Like, the art style, the character designs, the broad narrative structure. It's all pretty good stuff. But in the year of our Lord 2024, it is just kind of the style of right now, which is a better style than many others. Better style than many styles in the past. I'll freely say that. But that also makes it a little less interesting. Because it's like, oh yeah, that's nice. It's not really new or original or novel in any way, but it's nice. It's pleasant. So yeah, I have very nuanced feelings about this show, Shaun.
Wow. Hey, gang, do you hear that? Rem has a nuanced opinion.
Hey, look, I often have a nuanced opinion. I speak a nuanced opinion. Our lovely listeners don't always hear a nuanced opinion. I'll spend like there have been episodes where I've like sung praises to a show for 30 minutes, and then for 5 minutes I'll be like, and here's this one thing that's really, really bad. And they'll be like, wow, Remington. I'll be like, what the fuck? Yeah, so a nuanced opinion, I think that overall it is good, it is pleasant, it makes some creative decisions that are somewhere on the spectrum of bad to weird to baffling, that kind of confused me, and it does feel kind of derivative. Like, if you released this like 10 years ago, holy shit, you're revolutionizing things. You release it today, oh hey, it's another one of those. That's nice.
I mean, it does seem to be kind of piggybacking off of, like, the raw style and success of something a bit like Place Further Than the Universe, a little bit. Yeah, there's, like, a Place Further Than the Universe. There's... If I was better with knowing the names of the anime we've covered, but as we know, that's one of the things I'm worst at. I would list others that it is also derivative of, which isn't the worst thing. I don't think that makes it inherently a worse product. I think it makes it a less interesting and special product, which some people won't care about. They're just looking for a way to fill the time. And that's fine. That's okay. You won't mind. And for the people that do think this is a special product?
Oh man, their mind is gonna be fucking blown when they learn how many of these there are.
Christ.
This is great news for them. If you think this is a special show, like, oh my god, your life is about to change, bucko. Like, type in shows similar to Jellyfish Can't Swim in the Night. Bada bing, bada boom. You're gonna be in heaven, and I'm excited for you.
Yeah, I mean, I will say the first recommendation on Mal is like, Yorimoy. There you go. Then Bochi the Rock is a follow-up.
Yeah.
A new one that people want us to cover called Girls Band Cry is also one. Let's see. For some reason, I mean, only one person has recommended this for similarities, and I'm trying to figure out if they recommended Princess Jellyfish, which kind of works, but at the same
I can't remember that one.
It's the one we ended Pride Month last year with the person who enjoys dressing up as.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, jellyfish, I suppose.
Yeah, like
girls and jellyfish.
Yeah, like I didn't want to just say that was the connection, but like it's there. Yeah, because not a lot of people have specifically made recommendations. Like one person specifically said, K-On! There you go. Which, I mean, in vibes, yeah.
Yeah, I just feel like with, not only in the story, but with the dialogue, with the visuals, right? A lot of that feels very derivative. It does, I'd say, like, the most interesting thing it does is probably the music video outros. That's a real neat idea. That's dope. Everything else is generally pleasant, but recognizable.
You can't please this man sometimes,
I've specifically stated that this isn't some huge critique. This isn't saying, and thus it is a terrible show. Acknowledging something is derivative isn't an outright condemnation. It is simply being aware. And it does have an effect on the viewing experience. If you have seen plenty things like it, then it may feel a little less special or interesting to you.
Yeah. Well, out of curiosity, Rem, would you like to hear some of the other shows that we've covered that this studio made?
Sure.
Yeah. So this animation studio was Doga Kobo. I don't think we've ever actively named them on the show. But the ones that you would very quickly recognize, and I say very quickly, like, you...
I'm so bad with the names, Shaun.
Yeah, I know you are. Do you remember Oshinoko?
That one was the fucking weird one. That one was...
Yes.
That was the trip. I had weird thoughts about that one, too. That one had what I described as a great antagonist that unfortunately the show has no idea is actually the antagonist. Is that the one?
It's the one that started out with as a bit of a movie, yeah. And whether or not the series actually goes to show the well, let's just say it gets very complex and very interesting is the word I would use as things go on.
No.
But that's their most recent biggest one. Yep. And let's see, what else is there? There's also... oh, God, I did not know they made that one. Okay, fun. Hey, Ram, this is the studio behind Umaru-chan.
Hell yeah, brother.
That somehow, I missed that one, which is funny. Scrolled a little bit, I was like, oh, wait, that's a familiar-looking little gremlin. You know what? I was like, oh, did they just do the spin-off? No, they did all of Umaru-chan. Every bit of it. Those are probably the two you would actually recognize. There was one about some office workers that we did a while back that you were grumpy at, but you wouldn't recognize the name. And that's basically the major ones that we did. You got Umaru, you got Oshinoko, and you got this one. Oh, and also, how heavy are the dumbbells you lift? You remember that one, Rem?
Oh, is that the horny one?
No.
Okay.
The horny one was, oh god, I can't remember the name of it. It was something very bad and generic. I mean,
it doesn't help. Like, these names don't mean anything.
Well, I mean, how heavy is the dumbbell you lift? I mean, Remington, how heavy are dumbbells you lift? Do you lift a lot of dumbbells very often?
Oh no, I'm just lifting you up, my boy, my beautiful baby boy.
Physically or emotionally? Because I can guarantee one of those isn't true.
Then that leaves the other.
God. But yeah, no. So all in all, Rem, you're just wanting a little bit more nuance and new stuff to this show. But overall, you don't hate it. You think it's an okay show.
Yeah, I think it is well done. I think let me put it this way, all right?
Okay.
I think it helps to indicate that in at least some significant ways, anime is moving in a positive direction, because this can be seen as pleasant, but in many ways derivative and kind of generic. Whereas, like I mentioned, if you look 10 years ago, 20 years ago, if you put this there, you revolutionize the entire medium. So it's on the up and up. It's on the up and up overall. I think that this is generally pleasant in a neat yet unremarkable way. But I support this being closer to the norm than all the other dog shit. This is mass produced, but it isn't sawdust. You know what I mean? Like, I'm like, oh, this Rice Krispie is mostly just Rice Krispie. Now, at the end of the day, I'm just eating Rice Krispies, but it's so much better than goddamn sawdust.
I love that I know exactly what you're talking about. That's such a niche, meme reference, but it makes me happy.
So yeah, those are my thoughts overall. I like to think that it's an optimistic note, but I also think that this is the kind of show that will have a lot of weebs being like, this is my personality, and so any and all critiques, you've struck me as a person, and there's not really much I can do about those people.
Well, Rem, if you'd stop being so political, they might think of you better.
Of course.
So with that in mind, Rem, any guesses on the Mal score for Jellyfish Can't Swim in the Night?
It's gonna be super high. I think right now I'm gravitating around an 8 as my guess.
Okay.
Right? And I'm just judging whether to nudge it a little bit up or a little bit down. I think it's got that's like generally prestige girls doing cute girls doing cute things vibe to it. But I think at least a couple weebs are going to start to feel the smallest amount of fatigue. So I'm going to say 7.97. I'm just going to slightly ramp it down, but not by much.
Okay, is that your final answer?
I'm always spooked when you say that, but yeah.
Okay. Well, I just want to make sure you've made peace with your choices, Rem. That's all. You gotta check in on the homies from now and then and make sure that they're making choices that actually work out for them. Because if you don't, well, it feels like it's kind of your fault if things go badly.
Sure.
But in regards to guessing what majority of weebs rated a show, Jellyfish Can't Swim in the Night, it's a new show, just barely finished, so reviews are still kind of coming in. Only 29,000 people have rated it so far, exactly 29,000, which is pretty neat, in my opinion.
I probably shouldn't have factored that in, but I didn't, and I'm not going to change anything. Here we are.
Yep. And with those 29,000 ratings, Jellyfish Can't Swim in the Night is sitting nice and pretty at 7.89.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, genuinely speaking, people who looked at this show from the outset, saw something that they'd like, were all in from the get-go, essentially.
Oh, yeah.
And some people, some of their perspectives was definitely that a little bit near the end, it feels like it's a little baity. But if they were to continue the story, like it's Yuri or the Highway, that's the way this route is going, if they decide to continue this story at all. But that is kind of the biggest complaint, and the only actually written out negative review I can find took the show so personally in the wrong way.
How fascinating!
It was their biggest complaints were the characters themselves, and I'm like, but that's the best part.
Yeah, that's what's keeping things afloat.
Yeah, they felt so betrayed that the characters didn't go in exactly the way they wanted that they rated the thing a 4 out of 10, which is...
I see. It happened that, to make a weird comparison,
yeah,
that'll often happen a lot in the world of professional wrestling,
where
the fans will be like, all right, this superstar, this is what they have to do with this guy. They have to tell this particular story. And if it goes any other way, even if that superstar is being like heavily featured and like things are going great for them, they're like, no, but they didn't do it my way though. So they're fucking this all up.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, okay, all right. To a certain degree, I get it, but to a certain degree, y'all need to chill the fuck out.
Yeah. Like if you looked at the stat breakdown, like the vast majority of people rated this an 8 out of 10, like 10,000 of like the 29,000 people did, which is pretty fucking high. So like it really is just hovering around that 8 marker almost exactly, which is neat and impressive. And the people who really connected with the show really loved it and really enjoy it. I've seen a few people complain about just like how they didn't have as much commitment as we could have wanted, but I think that there's enough subtext in the show that it's not as bad as some other shows, like say, I don't know, Sound Euphonium. You remember that one? The band girls with the teacher that you absolutely hated. That you like, God, I remember you are very angry at that teacher.
It's probably for good reasons.
You take teaching stuff very seriously, and you did not like him. Also, is it the baitiest show of the decade, because it just had its 3rd season, and still nothing, still nothing.
Oh my God!
Like I think you can get away with 1 season, maybe 2 seasons. Like
I would disagree. Well, no, because I'm not saying like you need to have them get together, right?
Right.
I think it needs to be specifically acknowledged and in some way resolved or moved on with, right? Mm-hmm. You need to do something with it. If you're just having nonstop bait, 1 season I would say is really pushing it already. 2 seasons is no chance. Mm-hmm. Like, even if they don't get together, one of them needs to express their feelings and they need to explain why it's not going to happen yet. They need to transfer their feelings elsewhere. They need to have a personal struggle about it, right? Any of these things.
Yeah, the point I'm trying to make is 3 is just is absurd.
Yes.
It is so far out there. But this show, it's getting the 1st season pass for me from what I've seen of it. We got a little bit of progress, but nothing, not as much commitment as I would have liked. But it's an anime original, so if it does well enough, maybe there's another season in the future where they actually, full send it, which I would be.
No, but see, but that's why the bait works, because it's like, oh, now we need to make sure they get funded for a 2nd season, and then they're like, well, if we bait them for the 2nd season, then maybe that they'll be loud enough for a 3rd where maybe it's revealed. That's how it works, Shaun. That's the bait.
Well, it didn't fucking work for me with fucking Euphonium. I dropped that shit halfway through season 2.
You still got a season and a half.
Because it was pretty and it had good music, Rem. Like, it had other things. Like, that wasn't the main thing, right? Like, it had plenty of other things. It's just that the thing that I wanted the most, it wouldn't give to me, so I stopped. Like, that's the difference. I want to have hope for the future of things, damn it, Rem. And hey, if this is the bare minimum of what we're going to get in the future, it's much higher bar than some of the other things I could have shown you from this season. Do you want me to show you some of the other things from this season that do not meet that bar? Because motherfucker, I will, and you'll hate me for it.
Look, me acknowledging that there's much worse doesn't mean that anything that isn't trash is magically flawless. I believe in hope. I also believe in accountability. Because without the accountability, all hope is lost.
Oh, let's just see if I have to pivot for next week's episode. We'll have to see. Don't know yet. I'm still debating. Still debating. But with that in mind, I think that's where. Any chance you'd want to watch more Jellyfish Can't Swim in the Night?
Sure.
Hey, there you go. Nice and positive. And gang, just for all those people who listen to us who are also planning on being content creators, Pride is year-round, baby. So, just let that flag fly whenever, and don't let it be confined to a single month. That's the moral of this story. From the podcast at the very least. From the 2 straight white guys with the podcast, you can take our advice on that for certain. Not the
That's
problem.
what we're here for.
God, I need to start inviting more guests. But with that in mind, thank you all so much for tuning in. We really appreciate it. If you enjoyed us, just having a good old time and yelling at each other, because, that's what we do best as friends.
Of course.
Then please head on over to wherever you get your podcasts and leave us a review. They mean the world to us, and we do read every single one. And if that is still not enough for you, you can head on over to twitch.tv/animeoutofcontext, where myself, Dylan, and Remington occasionally play video games very poorly. And I will add, by the time this episode comes out, we'll have actually finished Dokapon. What feels like ahead of schedule.
Oh my god, probably.
Like, unless something fucked happens in 24 hours from now.
If we're not done with Dokapon by the time you hear this, something has gone awry.
One of us has died.
Which
IRL.
Hey, it's always possible.
It is. Let's not manifest that, though. You've still got a few years left in you, bud. But if that is still not enough for you, patreon.com/animeoutofcontext. Access to all kinds of bonus material, including having the opportunity to be thanked live on the podcast. So, Rem, who we thanking this week?
Well, as always, we would like to send our regards to all of our bland bitch protagonists, as well as our magical girls, who we really appreciate. But moving on, we get to our yandere waifu, who is parasocially listening to us, and will almost assuredly stalk us in person. And on that list we have, coming soon, Toby Literature Club explores Vogon poetry, reads an intrigued Misaka. Xanix, Yandere Neko, Yams and Eggfest, Why Shaun, Where's Our DBC Review, you ginger fuck? Wes Kane, welcome to Anime in Full and Complete Context, the show where watching Requiem for Spoon Man at 0.5 speed, Utah number 1, Unhinged Prax, Totally God's Angel, Titan CNH, there's once was a boy named Skipper who traded his soul for a wood chipper. One day it broke down, he replied with a frown and said, and we still don't know the answer. The Susanator, the pocket big hole you need in your pocket, the flying spaghetti monster, the Danish Viking will conquer the world with Reno Zoro as my navigator, the bookworm who survived being crushed by books, Turban, Super Zoo, Stacy's mom, Spoon Man calls Shaun carrot when handle deep in his cake, Snaky Pie, Shikanoko Noko, Spoon Man. Shaun wants to give Spoon Man a thank and yank. Shaun recommend me tea, you ginger prick. Shaun ruined my happy sugar life when he proudly declared his deep-rooted love for child soldiers and hatred of dogs. That did happen. We were all there.
No, it did not.
We were all there.
It did not.
Shaun, let's kiss in the Panzerkampfwagen. Shaun, I'm glad you survived your 4th of July festivities, but please remember that Roman candles should not be put there. Shaun had a lass that could go all night, but he got out of breath when he had to blow her up. Shaun can do D's nuts. Sarah from the Shark plushie. Segoy to Kai, that's what she said. Say hi to that guy's fiance. Think it's Haley. Ross Palmer. Rhiannon Williams. Remington needs to rewatch Attack on Titan at 0.75 speed to pay for his sins. Remington is right. Rem uses the drums of liberation to free all weeps from bad anime. Rem hit rock bottom, is still on top of Shaun. Rem doesn't completely hate my favorite shows. Pro tips out of context. Shiganoko, Noko, Koshi Tan Tan. Shiganoko, Noko, Koshi Tan Tan. Shiganoko, Noko, Koshi Tan Tan. Professor Fox, Paco Musico, Onichichi 10 out of 10 Family Show, Necrodancer 1415, Mikeka 7 Hirto, making fake mal account so I can rate Forest Fairy 5 10 out of 10, Macaroni Uchiha, Lucky Stars, The King of Moe, Link Jokerl, Kylo, King Rich Rock, Cassidy, Jergidius, Jax, Jam Hands. I'm the original guy that made you say cunt every week, the other guy's just a pretender. I'll date someone as long as they're not a normal human, I don't care if they're a boy or a girl. I will never get more Ace of the Diamond, and now I cry. I had to change my Patreon name for a podcast about dinosaurs, sorry. I can't believe I made an account for this. Hey Remington, if you want to punish Shaun, have him watch both seasons of Super Lovers for 12 Days of Xmas. Here's a really short name to give you a brief break from reading the really long names. Glenn Michael Dolan, Ginger Weeb, Fern the guy who did the thing that one time, Farmer Weeb's deer pun until Shikanoko Noko Koshi Tantan, which of Santa's deer is the biggest asshole, Rude Alf.
Dumb.
Fantide, Erica McCorkle, Dylan, edit out that last patron. He just trying to sabotage other patrons.
That's fucked up, dude. That's like, I really hated the one before me. I don't know which one exactly, but the one right before me, fuck that guy in particular.
Poor Dwayne The Rock Johnson in a fursuit. Domo, Terpixian worshipper, Danielle Riot. Daddy Rico can take over the Capybara's kingdom any day of the week. Daddy Rem, tell me a bedtime story. Come Sweat and Tears, Cheese Monkey, Cat Girls are the best girls, so give me them cute little paws. Brockhart for Geodudes, this is now an Ethos Lab fan podcast. Bento Kato, Been a while since I've changed my name on here, but I got a third 4.0. Can't believe it. I'm also changing my major from funeral. Batman couldn't hate fuck that information out of me. And every day that Raven comes to visit. Amazing Muffin. All hail Pui Pui Philosopher King. AJ Tunnels. Aisha Gucci. A Moe piece of trash. And 50 ways Shikanoko Noko Koshitan. Now we move on to the Boy Wizard tier. Shaun, what are they going to get this week?
They're going to get a VTuber.
All right.
Because, this is, I think, the first anime that's, heavily featured that as a concept. So, might as well.
We're going to start with Vincent Calabrese.
Iron Mouse.
Umbra Sight.
Gawagura.
That Mouse Girl.
Hosho Marine.
Tails W hears footsteps near the front entrance.
Usada Pecora.
Sporadic Silver.
Mori Calliope.
Silent Secondary.
Inugami Korone.
Scourge, best 20 bucks spent, LMAO.
Hoshimachi Suisei.
Sammy K is beautifying enough doggos to up her Patreon membership.
Shirakami Fubuki.
Roscop.
Amelia Watson.
Remington, what are you doing with that toothbrush? No, Remington, don't brush my teeth, moaned Shaun.
Unfortunately, I do get the reference.
There's a reference?
It's hard to explain. Takanashi Kiara.
Remington will enjoy the slice of life golf anime Ui Tonbo, says Rare Kumiko.
Natasha Nanners.
Remington Chase's laugh is my favorite sound.
Keisan.
Rare Kumiko thinks Remington will like reincarnated as the seventh prince, especially that Shota cake.
Henya the Genius.
Pan expert.
Zentreya.
Nyanya me nyanya junyanya dono nyarabe de nyaka nyaka in nyanyaka yaku nyanyahan nyanya de nyanyaku nyarabete nyaganya game.
Are you okay, Rem?
It's both. You're throwing a fucking tongue twister of a different language that I can't read or speak at me, and it's a sizable length. You're cursing me. You're fucking me.
That sounds like a very clownish thing to do. So let's go with Omaru Polka.
Nightshade Blade wants to gush over magical girls.
How about Iris?
Next week we have Dr. Disrespect to review his favorite anime Boku no Pico. Oh god. Oh, fuck. Oh, shit.
Oh, God, that's... Oh, man, I don't know if that one can go through. That one. Ugh.
Oh, but maybe he only kind of knew that they were a team. Blah, blah. Jesus Christ.
Please don't use that voice.
Don't use the Shaun voice. Don't use the Shaun voice to represent Dr. Disrespect Defenders.
Yeah, because if you had used that voice for anything other
Shaun
than me...
was just telling me the other day.
No,
he's
you cannot make those jokes.
The doc is innocent.
I would rather fucking die.
What do they get?
Dylan, sorry. Good luck with the editing. How about Fuwamoko? There's two for one for you.
Net hier abgefahren, sie schon mal in Baden-Württemberg.
Shy Lily.
Monogatari is a little fun story about chasing down the apparitions with a bit of romance and sometimes can get horrifically fucked.
Hakos Bales.
Mike.
Saris Fauna.
Miguel DeLeon.
Kureiji Ollie.
Latino's 433rd anime at 21 was Initial D 5th stage. Gas, 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 I'm gonna step on the gas. Sean Rollins, 2013.
Doki Bird.
It's August, no, I think Julying.
Bow.
I ran out of funny quips, so I'll just make you say cunt weekly.
Matara Khan.
I'm a regulation listener that used to listen to Face Jam, but now listen to 100% Eat.
Let's go with Rin Penrose.
Crosskirk.
Anya Malfissa.
Crimson Reapers just because of the scythes.
Man, we've got a lot of these guys, huh? I'm great. It's a good problem to have. Punkalope.
Carver 271.
Koseki Biju.
Blood Cell here to remind you that white blood cells are inferior. You need the red ones to thank and yank anyways.
Project Melody.
Beethoven 1201.
Let's see. Vebe.
Anonymous.
The reason I'm taking time is because I'm specifically trying not to name any Niji Sanji ones. Because there are quite a few.
I don't know what that means.
I'll tell you later. The people who do care will notice and understand why. Let's go with yeah, you know what? Let's just go back to Hololive. Sakura Miko.
Anime mashup of the week. My love of the dead.
Shigure Ui.
Animated Z.
Ninomai Inanis.
Allfather returns to his decade counting. Note by decade, I mean of the podcast in general.
Ozara Subaru.
And now we move on to the inappropriate Joey Wheeler tier, where, how mean am I feeling?
I mean, I showed you something that I thought was pretty nice overall in comparison.
Well, yeah, but like if I'm mean, then it's also funny. Otherwise, it's just kind of, blasé.
I mean, you're a pretty blasé fellow to begin with, so.
Where? All right, I'll be kind to you, Shaun.
Okay.
Where Shaun, as Joey Wheeler, will give you some talent to be super prodigious in, and I will give you a mascot for you and your blossoming talent.
See, that's fun. That's cute. I like that.
We start with stop asking what D I'm fucking. The only consistent D I'm getting is depression. I'm fucking depressed.
It's funny because it's relatable. Okay, the thing that you're gonna be extremely talented at is, bird care. You're good at taking care of birds.
And your mascot is gonna be Shaun Rollins from Anime Out of Context.
I beg your pardon? Excuse me? No, don't turn me into a marketable plushie. Oh, no.
Then we have Rowdy-O.
The thing you're gonna be really good at is, you're gonna be very good at scootering.
Your mascot's gonna be the Big Hole. Thank you all for tuning in. If you want to reach out for a comment, question, feedback, or recommendation, you can tweet us at AnimeConPod on Twitter, or send an email over on to animeoutofcontext@gmail.com.
Once again, guys, thank you all so much for tuning in. We love and appreciate you all very, very much. And as always, don't fuck your sister. There is that level of distance here, because it's not 1, not 2, not 4, but 3 prodigious child soldiers. It's not that I'm outright saying that makes it bad, but I am saying that is a bad choice to make. I don't like corporations. I don't like that because, capitalism is bullshit.